Alright, so now here we have Bitcoin on Bybit on the daily. We did make a lower low, being held down by the 100 as of now. We got rejection from the top of our red zone that we have had drawn for some time now. We did not make it to these upper red zones, to the 27, 500 mark and up to 30K. Uh, but we had this red zone. We knew that it could get rejected from here. So if you have been watching these videos, you stayed ahead of the curve. We did get rejected from the bullish control zone, came back down. Now we are in the bearish control zone, just cracked below that neutral median line, found no support. We are far below the signal line. Your BBWP, actually I want to move this down. Your MACD here, which is also a momentum oscillator. Your MACD and your RSI are both momentum oscillators. They tell you bullish and bearish momentum. Right here is your BBWP, which measures volatility. And so your MACD, fresh cross of the zero line, negative momentum is increasing. So you are below your signal line as well. Pretty fresh cross of the signal line. Couple days later, you got the cross of the zero line. Not looking too good on the daily right now. BBWP is far above its moving average. Once we got that low read, that's when the vol picked up. We kind of had that rally up to 25K and then got rejected hard. We are below all major moving averages right now. Your 21 did just cross your 50 to the downside. Actually, it got rejected from it. Didn't cross it, it got rejected. So now all your major moving averages are below each other from the smallest to the biggest. Your BBWP, like I said, is in the upper zone above its moving average. So I would expect the volatility to continue. We could get up to this purple zone, 22,600. Honestly, that's going to be a major level of resistance. You got a VPVR level here. You got the 21 and the 50. That's going to be a major level of resistance. And if we do get rejected from there, that will be a lower high and a lower low. I would expect us to come back down to these lows at 19K if we do get rejected from there. Or if we fall below 2,700. 2,700 is 20,700 is the level to watch. Because if you fall below there, I would expect us to come down to 19K pretty quickly too. Let's go to the 8-hour. So here on the 8-hour, fell below all major moving averages. We have a multi-cross on a medium-term time frame with the 21, the 50, and the 100. That does not look good at all. Best case scenario, I think, is 21,800. Probably get a rejection from there. We are deep in the bearish control zone. Are crossing the signal line. MACD's curling around. Negative momentum is decreasing as your BBWP starts to contract as the price action goes up, which makes me think this is a corrective move. So we could come up to the signal line and possibly get a rejection from it. Possibly try to get back to this last low, which is going to be resistance now on the RSI, and probably crack back down. And like I said, if we pass this last low at 2,700, down to 19K pretty quickly. Now, the bullish case is if we can get back above this purple zone at 22,600, I would expect us to come all the way back up to 25K. And maybe even more. But honestly, I think that's much less probable than going to the downside. Now, just because we hit 19K doesn't mean we just go straight to the depths. I would expect a major, major bounce at 19K because we are basically just ranging here. Slightly up and to the right, but still, you kind of have a range going here, somewhat of an upwards channel, but that upwards channel has broken. So if you drew a trend line, see what I mean? When you broke that channel, you cracked down hard, found support on the 200 for a second, and then fell below it. So it's not looking too good right now. But like I said, just because you come down to 19K, I would expect a major bounce. But if we break 18K and this last low, next stop, 16K. This purple zone right here, 15.5 to 16K is what I'd be looking at. I have a green line down here, and you can kind of guess what I'd be doing. I would start DCAing in probably a little bit every 1,000. I have my not financial advice, by the way. I'm just kind of sharing what I'm doing for my long-term position, not my trading, short-term trading. But yeah, I would start DCAing once we get down to about 13.5 to 13K. And then probably every $1,000 all the way down as low as we go, and just keep DCAing on the way down. Because everybody's looking at a lot of the same levels, so I think it's going to overrun that. I think it's going to go lower than what people think, because everybody's looking at the same level. So I think it'll have a huge bounce before that level, get everybody bullish again, thinking it's the bottom, and then crack below the 12K level that everybody's looking at. All right, so there's your bullish and bearish case. Let's move on to Ethereum. Actually, let's go to the 1 hour on Bitcoin. So here on your 1 hour, you're being held down by the 50. RSI is pretty neutral right now. You are above the signal line. MACD, fresh cross to the upside of the 0 line, but your positive momentum is decreasing. BBWP is crossing its moving average to the downside, which makes me think that we could consolidate here for a while unless we get back above that moving average and get back into the upper zone. So watch your BBWP right now, because if you can cross that moving average and get back into the upper zone, that's when the volatility is going to start again, and you'll have some good trades ahead. So the MACD looks decent, RSI looks neutral, BBWP looks like it's in corrective mode. As the price action goes up, the BBWP is going down. And then when it came off that low read and popped up, that was while the price action went down. So makes me feel like this whole thing is just a corrective move and redistribution. Doesn't mean we can't go up to the 21 at 20 or the 100 at 22K. We could, but honestly, I think that's where we probably get rejected from, 22K. Right now we are sitting on the POC, point of control. Nope, the POC's up here. We're sitting at a major VPVR level right now. And your VPVR is this gray indicator to the right. Measures horizontal volume at a certain price level. So yeah, pay attention, because if we can get back above this last high, I do think we come up to 22K, 22,100. If we can get above the 50. All right, and then the bearish case is that we break 2,700, 20,700. And then I would expect to move down to 19K for the huge bounce, probably down to 18K after that. All right, so there's your bullish and bearish cases for Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum, and we're going to start on the weekly. Lower highs, lower lows. We're in a bear market. All right, RSI. Trying to get out of the bearish control zone, but you did get a rejection from it. So if you come down across this signal line, that is going to look bad. It's going to look bad. That would mean that we get all the way down to 1,400. So if we do that and cross that signal line to the downside, $1,000 all day. MACD fresh cross to the upside. Positive momentum's printing 3 dark green bars right now. The only thing I don't like is that your BBWP is heading down as the price action's cracking up. You are below your moving average. Starting to get a red candle, starting to look like a reversal up here. So yeah, once we get into the shorter term time frames, we're going to talk about the bullish and bearish case and your short term price levels. So, I mean, it looks like we're in a bear market. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You know, you're making lower highs, lower lows, and major downtrend. I mean, started at 3,500, came all the way down to under $1,900. Now you're getting a relief bounce. That's my thoughts on it. Let's move to the daily. So here on the daily, let me see here. We do have multiple drives of bearish divergence, which pretty much led us down to there. All right, we got rejected from 2K. Had the bearish divergence, crack back down below our major moving averages. Well, right now we're sitting on the 100, finding support on the 100 and our purple zone. We've had all these zones drawn for so long. We stay ahead of the curve on this channel, so definitely subscribe to this channel. turn on those bell notifications so you get notified with this time sensitive content, and join the Discord. A lot of times we talk about the moves far before I can even make these videos. I give updates, throughout the day, and a lot of good conversation about crypto investing and trading there, and markets as a whole. So yeah, being held up by the 100 right now. RSI is bouncing, trying to bounce off the top of the bearish control zone. Now, if we just come up to the neutral median line and crack back down, that's not going to look good on the daily. MACD, pretty fresh cross to the downside. Negative momentum is increasing. BBWP is heading up as the price action is heading down, far above its moving average in the upper zone. Okay, so on the weekly, let's go back to the weekly, because the weekly, this could turn around real quick. I mean, as you see, you've had crosses before and they turned around pretty quick. Like, we had a major correction right there. This was in the bull market, so it's going to be different. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is that your MACD can fake you out. Okay, and it's starting to lose its upside curvature as well. So watch that MACD, watch this RSI, because if this RSI crosses that signal line, which would be 1400, once again, there's confluence in that level, that would cascade us down to 1000, and the daily would roll over into the weekly. So you got bearish momentum on the daily. So that happens for 2 more days. That's going to roll over into that weekly. You know what I mean? How much farther do we have on a weekly candle? 6 days. Hold on, 6 hours. 6 hours, 32 minutes. So the weekly candle's about to close, and if it closes here, that's going to look like a reversal on the weekly as you're trying to get out of the bearish control zone, but you're having some trouble doing it. All right, so let's go down to the 12-hour. Deep in the bearish control zone right now. Below your signal line, MACD fresh cross to the 0 line, but your negative momentum's waning a bit. Volatility's high. BBWP's in the upper zone as it's above its moving average, and like I said, in the upper zone. Being held up by the 100 and the 200 right now, so we're going to have major support right here. We got our purple zone that we have, and we have both those moving averages. So that's going to be a major level. Also, you have another level on the VPVR, close to the POC, and basically what I'm looking at is, your trend is down. Your moving averages are switching back to bearish. You can even see your 100 starting to lose its upside curvature. 200's pointed down. 21 and your 50 looks like they're going to try to come across down. Now, we got this level here at 1700. All right, right where your 50 is too. We could get a bounce up to there and then possibly get rejected from there. If that happens and we break this purple zone at 1500, next bounce is 1350. After that is 1230 at this VPVR level. Honestly, I think we would come back to the lows at $1,000. So if we break this 100, we'll say the 100 at 1530, we'll say 1500 just to be more conservative. You break 1500, you're going to have a huge move down. Let's see what that move would be. So from 1500 down to the 1000, 33% move. Those are bear market moves right there. So yeah, on your 12-hour, it's not looking too good. Let's go to the 4-hour. Man, in the bearish control zone. You are above your signal line, pretty fresh cross. Looks like you're going to try to work your way up, possibly get rejected at least from these last lows right here. That's going to be a major level of resistance because it was support before. So your MACD, although, has a fresh cross to the upside and printing a dark green bar. Now look, your BBWP is heading down. So that means you could consolidate here for a while and reset these indicators. You are below your moving average and in the lower zone of the BBWP, which means your volatility is contracting. Okay. But yeah, if you break this last low at 1500, 1525 even, 1525, I would expect a huge bounce at 1350. All major moving averages have negative slopes. You did have a multi-cross right here, so your trend is definitely down. I don't think everything is going up from here. I don't think this was the bottom. There's a lot of people on Twitter calling this the bottom, or 17K was the bottom. I'm not saying that, we're going to make new lows within, a week or two, but, and like I said, I would expect a major bounce at 19,000 on Bitcoin. But on Ethereum, I mean, you do have some bullish news. You know what I mean? You got the merge coming up, but I go off of TA. I don't go off of fundamentals. The TA will tell you what's going on before the news. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news, whether it's bullish or bearish. Now, I'm aware of the merge. I'm just saying I go off of the charts. Let's go down to the 1 hour, talk about the bullish and bearish case. So you're being held down by the 50. All right, your RSI, let's see here. We do have bearish divergence. One drive, barely let us down. And if this is a confirmed high, we'll still have 2 more drives of bearish divergence. And let's see, would it be a higher high? Depends on where it closes in the next half hour. If we make a lower high, probably going to come back down to the 21 and find out what happens next at about 16.15. If we break the 21, I expect us to come back down to this low at 1570. And like I said, if we break 1500, $1,000 is in the cards. All right, so here on your RSI, you are above your signal line, are in the neutral median zone above the neutral median line, and your MACD is getting a fresh cross to the upside. Now, see these crosses, or you see these crosses of the 0 line right here, major level of resistance. Fake out before. So last time that happened was right here. All right, another time that happened was right here. So you see what I mean? Like, just because that MACD is crossing that 0 line doesn't mean much. All right, it's got to have the follow through. You got to get back above these last highs too in order for it not to be a fake out. So you would have to get up to like the 5.9 level on the MACD. BBWP is crossing its moving average to the downside. Looks like we have some downside curvature, which means we could contract from here. We could bounce around in between the 50 and the 21 for a minute. Now, which moving average we break is going to determine whether we go to this purple zone or this purple line at 1700. If we break the 50, I think we go to 1700. By that time, your 100 will probably be down close to here. And you got a VPVR level, which is going to be a major level of resistance right here. Major level of resistance at 1700. All right, but if you break 1700, I think you go all the way up to 1825. So that would be the bullish case. Now, I don't really see us getting back above there. I mean, yeah, maybe a miracle would happen and we get up to 1950. But I don't see that happening. And I already explained the bearish case, so did a little deep dive into Ethereum today. One of the members of the Discord, asked for it, so shout out to you, and hopefully that was helpful. Let's move on to Solana. So check this out, our trend lines. We have stayed on the pulse of Solana for months. All your major moving averages have negative slopes, except for the 21 to 50. They're curling around. And your price actions trying to break the 50 right now, a lot of this is going to depend on what Bitcoin does. Your RSI above the neutral median line, above the signal line, working its way up the neutral median zone. MACD, fresh cross to the upside, but remember, like I said, you had a high right here and it faked out. See what happened last time. See this? Kind of looks similar a bit, you know what I mean? Looks a little similar. You did have your mark down, mark up. Are we going to come back down to this trend line? Because if we break this purple zone, I think we're passing this trend line this time. All right, so bounced right off our trend line in our purple zone twice there. You kind of had your double bottom and W pattern here. If we can close above this 50, I think we go to 37.85, where this 100 is sitting. Your BBWP is contracting right now, which means your volatility is going down. You are above the moving average, so if you can stay into the upper zone, I think the move consists. persists. And then, the bearish case is that you break the 21 at 35.80 region. If that happens, I think you come down to the purple zone. If you break this purple zone, I think you go all the way to this purple zone at about $31. Yeah, $31 would be what I'd be looking at. If you can break this 100, you go all the way up to 40, in my opinion, where these last lows were and this last breakdown point. By the time you would get up there, this 200 would work its way down to $40. Plus $40 is a big even number, and I could even say 1480, where this VPVR level is right here. You got your POC, point of control, coming in on the VPVR, which is right where the 200 is as of now. So if you could crack up like hard, I think you could get up there. But if you just work your way up, probably not going to get above 37.80. Like I said, a lot of this is going to depend on what Bitcoin does. Let's zoom out a bit. We're going to go to the weekly on Solana. I want to see how this bear market has treated it. So, yeah, wrecked. Looks like this is a corrective move. Deep in the bearish control zone. Crossing your signal line to the downside. MACD is curling over. You got your positive momentum, but it's waning right now. Your dark green bars are the same size. And you see how that MACD line's losing its downside curvature? So this looks like a corrective move. If you break these last lows at $31, the next level, it's not even showing my channel right now. The next level, in my opinion, would be $20. $20 if you break this last low at 31. $20. So what type of move would that be? About a 34% move. Remember what we said in Ethereum. About the same. Which, you know what I mean? These altcoins kind of go in confluence sometimes. Like I said, a lot of this is going to depend on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's running the market right now. So let's go to the daily. All right, let's refresh. We have broken out of that channel, but we went sideways doing it. So now I'm going to delete this channel because it is, well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clone it like I did before. Put that right there. Clone it again. We're just going to see if this works. Yeah, we're just going to, well, no, I'm deleting this whole channel. Because that's what I did before, but I had more points of reference to work with. So we're going to finally delete the channel that we have been working in for months. Clean this chart up a bit. All right, come on, baby. There you go. All right, so here on the daily, we are entering the bearish control zone. Did cross your signal line to the downside. Pretty, in the middle right now, but we need to get back above 39, like 15, in order to cross that signal line to the upside. So far and few in between. I mean, you'd basically have to get above. You'd have to get above this point of control POC on the VPVR right here, and basically try to get above the moving averages. MACD's riding the zero line right now, but it did just roll over, crossing that zero line to the downside. Your BBWP is cracking up right now, and it's coming from a pretty low read as the price action's moving down, so doesn't look too good, if I do say so myself. But we are just ranging basically, sideways, a little up to the right, but we did make a new low. So if we get rejected even from $40 in the bottom of this red zone, that's going to be a lower high. Then I would think that we break these last lows at $26 and head down to 20. All right, so those are my thoughts. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Get notified with this time-sensitive content. Turn on those bell notifications to all. And join the Discord. Everyone have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.